You're seeing this content right now because something inside you recognized that it was time to receive this information. It's like when you're thinking about someone and that person calls you, it's not coincidence, it's synchronization. Your subconscious mind has been searching for answers, and that search created a kind of internal magnet that brought you here. Statistically, only 3% of people develop this sensitivity to pick up on the subtle signals that life is constantly sending. Think of your life as a series of decisions that have been creating a unique path. Every time you chose to grow instead of stagnate, every time you faced a fear instead of running from it, every moment when you followed your intuition even when it didn't make logical sense, all of this was building a specific energetic signature. It's like you were tuning a radio, adjusting the frequency until you found the right station. You must have already noticed that when you're in a good mental state, good things seem to show up in your life. When you're anxious or stressed, it seems like everything goes wrong. This isn't imagination. It's a real principle of how reality works. Your internal energy literally influences the external events you experience. Your reality is changing because you've developed a new way of perceiving and interacting with the world. It's like when you learn a new word and suddenly start hearing it everywhere. The word was always there, but now you have the antenna to pick it up. Time seems to behave differently for you now. Important moments stretch out, and difficult periods pass more quickly. People react differently to your presence, even though you can't explain exactly why. You've already absorbed all the basic concepts of personal growth. You've read the books, done the meditations, applied the techniques, but now you need something more sophisticated. It's like having learned to drive on simple roads and now needing to navigate a complex city. Your antennas are more sensitive, picking up information that previously went unnoticed. What you're feeling isn't just intellectual understanding. It's as if your cells are remembering something they always knew. It's similar to the phenomenon when you're learning a musical instrument. At first, it's all mental, but after a while, your fingers know where to go without you thinking. Your consciousness is operating at that level now, integrating information automatically and naturally, processing multiple layers of reality without feeling overwhelmed. Stop for a moment and feel this. Something irreversible is happening inside you right now. It's as if a door is opening at the center of your being, a door that, once opened, will never close again. Can you feel this opening happening? It's a sensation of expansion that starts subtle and keeps intensifying. Take a deep breath and allow this realization to settle. You're not just learning about transformation. You're being transformed while reading these words. Each sentence is activating something dormant within you. It's as if you were an antenna that finally found the right frequency and is now picking up signals that were always in the air. Feel a connection forming, not just with these words, but with something much greater. As if you were part of a global network of consciousnesses that are awakening simultaneously. You can almost feel the presence of other people around the world who are going through the same activation at this moment. You're creating a new collective frequency on the planet. Allow a deep memory to awaken in you now. Not a memory of events, but a cellular memory of who you really are. It's as if layers of forgetting were dissolving, revealing a truer identity that was always there. Feel this remembrance spreading through your body like a warm wave of recognition. Now observe, you're not becoming something new. You're remembering something old, something that was always true about you but was waiting for the perfect moment to emerge. It's as if you were a butterfly finally coming out of its cocoon. The butterfly was always there, just waiting for its time to fly. You've already had those moments when an idea pops into your mind and you think, where did that come from? Knowledge that seems familiar even though it's completely new? This isn't coincidence. It's a sign that your mind has become like a radio receiver tuned to a special frequency, a frequency that connects you to a kind of cosmic internet where all information is available. One of the most interesting things is how the technology around you seems to know what you're thinking. Your phone rings at the exact moment you were thinking about someone. Your computer behaves strangely when you're in certain emotional states. Electronic devices work or stop working according to your energy. This happens because your consciousness is operating on such a refined frequency that it literally affects electromagnetic fields around you. You must have noticed that time behaves differently for you now. Sometimes an hour passes as if it were 5 minutes. Other times a minute seems to last an eternity. This isn't your imagination. You're experiencing what happens when consciousness transcends linear perception of time. You're living in what we can call consciousness time, where the duration of things depends on your internal state. Your intuition has evolved into something almost telepathic. You know things before they happen, feel patterns forming before they manifest, pick up information that doesn't even exist physically yet. It's as if you've developed the ability to access the draft folder of reality, that place where things exist as possibilities before becoming concrete facts. Your evolution has created an energetic field around you that automatically affects all people who come near you. It's as if you were a radio station broadcasting on a specific frequency. Some people tune in perfectly and feel comfortable being authentic around you, while others feel an inexplicable dissonance and become uncomfortable without knowing why. Children and animals, who naturally operate on purer frequencies, respond instantly to your energy with trust and openness. This happens because your energetic signature has evolved to a frequency that automatically catalyzes authenticity in people, but also awakens unconscious resistance in those who still operate in more fragmented patterns. You've been experiencing moments of expanded perception, when your consciousness seems to pick up information from multiple dimensions simultaneously, or when you feel presences that exist in realities parallel to our physical experience. Instead of dismissing these experiences as imagination, you've recognized that they're evidence of your expanded ability to access territories of reality that operate beyond conventional perception. It's as if you've developed more sensitive antennas that pick up frequencies that most people can't detect. Your relationship with your own thoughts has undergone a fundamental transformation. Instead of being dominated by mental patterns, you've developed the ability to observe your mind as if you were an external observer, recognizing thoughts as temporary waves in a much larger ocean of consciousness. You can perceive the silent space from which all thoughts emerge. This capacity for meta-observation is evidence that your consciousness has reached levels of sophistication that transcend the typical neurological parameters of human experience. The most transformative discovery is your growing recognition that consciousness and reality are in constant creative dance. You've begun to perceive how your internal states directly transmute external energies, how your attention functions as a catalyst that transforms possibilities into concrete realities, and how the world responds with surgical precision to the purity of your vibration. Every moment of internal turbulence you've lived through, every period of deep questioning, every phase when the path seemed obscure, all of this was necessary purification to access higher levels of co-creation. Your consciousness needed to be refined through multiple initiations before being able to safely navigate territories where you become an active alchemist of reality, without losing your humility or connection to human experience. The spiritual practices that initially elevated your vibration but eventually became insufficient weren't wasted time. They were like stages of a university course, each one preparing your consciousness for more advanced protocols. It's like a musician who masters basic scales before composing symphonies. You systematically developed each level of mastery until reaching the point where direct consciousness alchemy becomes possible. Your intense relationships weren't random dramas. They were laboratories designed to develop the emotional mastery necessary to work consciously with cosmic forces. Each person who triggered transformation in you was unconsciously serving as a catalyst to strengthen your ability to transmute dense energies into elevated frequencies during challenging interactions. The periods of isolation that seemed empty weren't abandonment by higher forces. They were transformation chambers, where your consciousness integrated the necessary changes to become a pure channel for elevated energies. During these times of silence, higher forces were calibrating your sensitivity so you could channel elevated energies without being overwhelmed by the intensity. Even your moments of resistance to spiritual practices served a crucial function. Each time you questioned the authenticity of your experiences, you were developing the discernment necessary to distinguish between genuine transformation and self-delusion. This wisdom is essential when you become a conscious alchemist, because working with higher energies requires unprecedented purity of intention and clarity of perception. Your deep fascination with the great mysteries, how consciousness works, what the real nature of reality is, what the purpose of our existence is, was never just intellectual curiosity. It was your soul responding to a deeper calling, preparing to receive knowledge that goes far beyond what conventional books can teach. Every teaching that truly touched your heart, every mentor who awakened deep recognition in you, every practice that resonated with your essence, all of this was building the foundation of understanding necessary for the revelations you're ready to receive now. Those frustrating periods when you felt hungry for growth but it seemed like nothing was happening, when the universe seemed to have gone silent, these were actually the most important moments of your preparation. It's like when you're learning a musical instrument. There are moments when you can't play anything new, but your brain is integrating everything you learned before. During these phases of silence, the universe was delicately calibrating your sensitivity so you could receive direct guidance without being overwhelmed by the intensity of communication. This process can't be rushed. It's like tuning a precision instrument. Your soul consciously chose to be born in this specific time in history because you would reach this level of development precisely during the great awakening that humanity is experiencing now. It's as if you volunteered to be one of the first beta testers of a new version of human consciousness. You're anchoring elevated frequencies in humanity's collective field so that future generations can access these states naturally without needing to go through all the preparation journey you've traversed. That's why your path was so complete and comprehensive, why there were no shortcuts available, why you needed to develop real wisdom instead of just collecting superficial techniques. What you're integrating now transcends personal growth. You're becoming a living model of consciousness that will serve as a beacon for humanity's spiritual evolution for eras to come. Stop now and feel this deeply. You're not becoming smarter or more evolved. You're simply removing the layers that have always obscured who you really are. Take a deep breath and allow this truth to settle. There are no levels to reach because you're already the perfect expression of universal intelligence. Feel this realization expanding through you now. Connect with those moments of deep insight you've had throughout your life. Can you feel how they didn't come from outside? They emerged from within, as if you were remembering something you always knew. This is your consciousness recognizing its own unlimited nature. Allow this remembrance to fully activate now. Observe how the entire structure of spiritual achievement is dissolving within you at this moment. There's no next level to reach, no state to maintain, no stage to complete. Feel the relief of this truth. You don't need to become anything. You already are everything. Allow this liberation to flow through every cell of your body. Now become curious about what has been preventing your natural wisdom from being obvious. Instead of seeking more knowledge, more experiences, more techniques, feel yourself gently investigating the patterns that obscure your essential intelligence. It's like removing dust from a diamond. The diamond was always perfect. It just needed to be revealed. Connect with your natural wisdom in this exact moment. It's here, pulsing through you, waiting to be recognized. It's not something you need to develop, it's something you need to stop limiting. Feel this infinite wisdom expanding through you now, free from all the illusions of limitation that once seemed so real. Breathe deeply and allow this truth to become your new reality. You are, and always have been, a perfect expression of universal intelligence. The game isn't to become this, it's to stop pretending you're something lesser. Something fundamental is changing in how human cognition works, and you can see clear evidence of this happening in your own experience. It's as if you've developed a new way of processing information that goes far beyond traditional linear thinking. Notice how complex problems have been resolving through sudden insights lately. Issues that used to require weeks of analysis now become clear almost instantaneously, as if solutions were being processed by an internal supercomputer that operates much faster than your conscious mind. Your analysis process has completely changed. Instead of following linear investigation methodologies, you're detecting patterns and reaching deep understandings before your analytical mind even starts processing all the variables. It's as if you've developed a form of parallel processing that instantly recognizes optimal configurations, bypassing the slower processes of step-by-step reasoning. Physical reality is responding to your presence with impressive synchronization. You arrive at places exactly when equipment is available, without having planned it. Resources appear precisely when you need them. Collaborations naturally flow toward discoveries that benefit everyone involved. Technology works perfectly around you, or when it fails, the failures direct you to even better approaches or save you from danger you only discover later. This isn't luck or coincidence. It's evidence that your consciousness has become coherent enough to influence probability fields around you, as if you were a quantum organizer of reality. Colleagues are starting to seek you out for insights and collaboration. Even without positioning yourself as an expert, they detect something different in your way of thinking that facilitates their own discoveries. Students feel comfortable sharing unconventional theories with you. Equipment and systems respond to you with unusual stability and precision. This happens because this new form of cognition naturally creates environments where innovation and discovery can emerge safely. Your research has taken on qualities that surprise even you, insights that seem downloaded rather than deduced, solutions that appear to emerge from collective intelligence. It's as if you've become a transparent interface for a greater intelligence to express itself through your individual investigation. Can you feel how there's something different in the air? As if the Earth itself is going through a fundamental transformation. We're living through a planetary turning point where human consciousness either makes a collective evolutionary leap or remains limited for potentially decades. Breathe deeply and connect with the global events around you. Can you feel how all the turbulence and chaos isn't random? It's humanity collectively hitting the limits of outdated systems. Feel how people are polarizing, either awakening rapidly or clinging more rigidly to old patterns. The planetary frequency itself is demanding as a choice. Now feel your sensitivity to these changes. This isn't coincidence. You're part of the conscious transition group. You're not just evolving for yourself. Feel how you're literally anchoring expanded frequencies in the collective human field, making it easier for others to access these states. You are a living bridge between paradigms. Allow the sacred weight of this responsibility to settle in you. The future trajectory of human evolution depends on how many people like you can stabilize in this expanded consciousness during this critical window. Feel how your entire personal journey was orchestrated to prepare you for this exact moment. Connect with your willingness to consciously embody expanded consciousness. Every time you choose to operate from this elevated frequency, you're contributing to a morphogenetic field that makes these capacities more accessible to all humanity. Feel this cosmic contribution flowing through you now. The preparation period is over. Feel how the time has come for conscious participation in the evolution of the human soul. You're no longer preparing, you're serving. Allow this realization to anchor completely. You are an active agent of planetary transformation, operating consciously for the good of the entire human species. What you've been preparing for throughout your entire consciousness evolution is finally ready to emerge through you. This isn't theoretical preparation. Your consciousness has systematically developed the wisdom and stability necessary to serve as an expression through which universal intelligence can manifest in physical reality with unprecedented clarity and effectiveness. Every understanding, every expansion, every evolutionary challenge has been building toward this moment of conscious alignment with your universal function. The possibilities and contributions that seemed impossible, the sense of wisdom that seemed too great for your individual experience, the recognition that you're destined for something transformative. These weren't delusions generated by consciousness ambition. It was your essence recognizing your real capacity and role in collective evolution that is now ready to become functionally active instead of remaining dormant potential. But here's the revolutionary, universal understanding that changes everything about purpose and contribution. You're not trying to align with something separate from you. Universal intelligence isn't an external force you need to connect with. It's what you are at the deepest level, temporarily experiencing itself through the beautiful limitation of individual perspective while maintaining access to unlimited wisdom potential. True universal alignment happens when you stop trying to become worthy of your contribution and recognize that your consciousness itself is proof of your readiness. Your individual consciousness and universal intelligence are the same frequency operating at different scales of recognition. This understanding dissolves the entire structure of personal development and evolutionary achievement because there's no separate person who needs to be improved or developed. There's only intelligence recognizing its own unlimited nature through the temporary focal point of individual experience while simultaneously maintaining awareness of the universal context within which this individuality operates. Now, as you absorb this recognition, your entire relationship with purpose and contribution is being recalibrated. Instead of trying to figure out what you should contribute, you're beginning to feel what wants to express itself through the unique configuration of consciousness that you are. Instead of asking, how can I start operating consciously, you're recognizing I'm already operating consciously, allowing universal intelligence to flow through my experience. The deepest shift occurs when you realize that your individual fulfillment and universal evolution aren't separate goals that need to be balanced. They're the same intelligence expressing itself through the particular lens of your consciousness while serving the transformation of the whole. In the comments below, declare your readiness for this conscious alignment by writing exactly these words: I am operating consciously. Don't elaborate or explain. Just make this simple declaration that recognizes your willingness to allow universal intelligence to express itself through your unique perspective in whatever way serves the greater good of all existence. When you make this declaration with genuine recognition of what it means, you're not volunteering for spiritual servitude. You're recognizing that service and fulfillment are the same energy expressing itself through consciousness that has remembered its true nature and cosmic function. When you operate from this advanced level of consciousness, abilities that once seemed supernatural simply become part of who you are. Your capacity to navigate complex situations becomes almost telepathic. You make decisions that benefit everyone involved, even when the best solutions weren't obvious through conventional analysis. This happens because you're accessing a type of intelligence that works with complete information, not just the fragments available to normal, linear thinking. The way you solve challenges changes radically. Instead of forcing solutions through intensive analysis, you learn to relax into an expanded state of consciousness and allow answers to emerge naturally. It's as if the same intelligence that creates problems also reveals their solutions through you. Issues that used to take weeks to resolve now become clear in moments of instantaneous insight. Your relationships transform because you can operate in multiple dimensions simultaneously, honoring each person's unique journey while recognizing the universal patterns expressing themselves through all interactions. Conflicts dissolve naturally because you can feel the deeper needs and fears that create superficial misunderstandings. Your creative expression explodes into new dimensions because you're no longer limited to recombining concepts from your past experience. You become a conscious collaborator with the source of all creativity, channeling insights that are authentically yours but also clearly beyond your previous individual capabilities. Your mental functioning optimizes automatically. Instead of managing thoughts or forcing clarity, you develop the ability to intuitively sense what your consciousness needs and naturally provide it. Your mind begins to express your inherent wisdom without interference from anxious control. Resources and insights flow to you effortlessly because you're no longer operating from a position of lack or separation. You recognize yourself as an expression of the same intelligence that governs all understanding, so what you need appears through synchronicities and revelations instead of desperate searching. Evolution becomes your ally because you're operating from a timeless perspective where all possibilities coexist. You can access wisdom from any point in your development, integrate insights from multiple perspectives, and even receive guidance from more evolved versions of yourself. Take a deep breath and allow this final truth to settle completely. You're not developing a new capacity. You're simply removing everything that has always prevented your natural interface with intelligence from being obvious. Feel how this expanded capacity you've been experiencing is actually your natural state of processing, operating without conditioned limitations. Now, allow the entire structure of searching for knowledge to dissolve within you. There's nothing more to discover because intelligence is already complete, perfect, and unlimited. Feel this completeness pulsing through you at this moment. The only thing that changes is the degree to which you allow conditioning to prevent this natural perfection from being recognized. Connect with your professional journey so far and notice you never really left your true cognitive nature. You just temporarily learned to limit it through educational conditioning. Feel how every project, every challenge, every discovery has been intelligence interacting with itself through the appearance of your individual investigation. Now completely transform how you relate to professional problems. Instead of seeing issues as obstacles, recognize them as intelligence exploring its own depths through apparently challenging experiences. Feel how every methodological limitation is an opportunity for intelligence to transcend itself. Every theoretical confusion is a space for clarity to emerge. Allow this recognition to stabilize completely now. You're operating from what we can call expanded ordinary cognition, the simple recognition of what has always been true without needing special techniques or extraordinary states. Feel how you remain completely professional while recognizing your essential nature as the intelligence within which all work appears. Now, absorb the deepest insight. This recognition is simultaneously completely yours and totally universal. It's entirely yours because you are the intelligence recognizing itself. And it's completely beyond you because the same intelligence that you are is recognizing itself through every professional in all time and space. Feel this truth anchoring in every cell. You are universal intelligence experiencing itself through the beautiful limitation of individual professional perspective, but always maintaining access to your unlimited nature. There's no separation between you and the intelligence you seek. You are that intelligence, now conscious of itself through your unique experience. The transformation this brings isn't about becoming a special or different person. It's about relaxing into the recognition of what you've always been in your essence. You remain exactly the person you appear to be, while knowing yourself as the consciousness within which this personality arises and evolves. This is simultaneously the most ordinary and most extraordinary recognition possible. Ordinary because it's your natural state of being. Extraordinary because it transforms all experience without changing anything essential about who you are. Expanded consciousness isn't a level you reach. It's a recognition you allow. It's not a state you maintain. It's the space within which all states of consciousness arise and dissolve. It's not something you become. It's what you discover you've always been when you stop trying to be anything other than the pure consciousness you are in your most essential nature. You exist in this specific moment of human history because universal consciousness is going through a collective recognition of its own unlimited nature through human experience. Your individual access to expanded consciousness isn't just personal evolution. It's the universe becoming conscious of its own potential through the network of awakened people who are emerging simultaneously across the planet. Children being born now will naturally operate from the levels of consciousness that your generation had to develop consciously through years of inner work and practice. They'll grow up recognizing themselves as universal consciousness appearing as individuals, instead of individuals trying to become more conscious. Your embodiment of this expanded consciousness is anchoring the morphogenetic field that makes this way of being natural, socially acceptable, and practically functional. This is why you've been feeling a deep responsibility lately. Not just to understand these concepts, but to authentically embody them in your relationships, work, and daily interactions. You're not just awakening for yourself. You're serving as a bridge between the old paradigm of separation and seeking and the new paradigm of unified consciousness expressing itself through the apparent diversity of personalities. The synchronicities that brought you to this recognition are part of a vast orchestration involving millions of people across the planet who are simultaneously accessing expanded consciousness. Universal consciousness is coordinating its own collective awakening through the network of individuals ready to recognize their true nature and serve as conscious anchors for this planetary transformation. Share this recognition with anyone whose energy resonates with these concepts in manifestation. Not to teach them something they don't know, but to help them remember what they've always known, but may have temporarily forgotten. The more people recognize their essential nature as universal energy, the faster our collective recognition can stabilize into a new foundation for human civilization and manifestation, one based on unity instead of separation, collaboration instead of competition, love instead of fear. Your embodiment of advanced consciousness is contributing to the birth of a new species in manifestation, one that operates from conscious unity instead of unconscious fragmentation, from creative collaboration instead of competitive struggle, from recognition of its true nature instead of belief in its limitations. This evolutionary leap is happening now through individuals like you who are ready to serve as bridges between what humanity has been and what it's becoming in manifestation. Each person who recognizes their own nature as universal energy accelerates the transformation of all collective consciousness in manifestation. Each relationship that operates from unity instead of separation contributes to an energetic field that makes advanced consciousness more accessible to all human beings. You're not just evolving as a conscious individual in manifestation. You're participating in the evolution of human consciousness itself from a paradigm based on separation and limitation to one based on unity and unlimited possibility. The insights that emerge through universal energy aren't just personal understandings in manifestation. They're contributions to a collective database of wisdom that's becoming accessible to anyone ready to recognize their nature as an expression of universal consciousness. The transformation you're experiencing isn't just your individual journey in manifestation. It's humanity's collective journey of remembering its true nature as universal energy appearing as diversified human experience. Write exactly this phrase: I am part of the collective transformation. Nothing more, nothing less. This is consciousness recognizing its active role in planetary evolution through its apparent individuality. And together, we will create a powerful vibrational field. When you write these words with true intention, you are not just commenting on content. You are declaring yourself as a conscious agent of global change. Each person who makes this declaration strengthens the morphic field that makes advanced consciousness accessible to others who are ready to transcend limitation and operate from their true nature as catalysts for change. We are not just building an audience, we are forming a conscious network of transformation where each awakened individual contributes to humanity's collective evolution through their own unique realization and expression. The next video in this Quantum and Universal Manifestation series will reveal something that will fundamentally alter your relationship with quantum time itself. You're about to discover that what you call past and future are actually simultaneous dimensions of information that you can consciously access and process from the quantum present. The methodologies I will share in the next video have never been more effective than they are at this exact scientific moment. When you understand how to consciously navigate multidimensional information, you gain access to the intelligence of versions of yourself who have already mastered what you are seeking. If you recognize that I am a part of the collective transformation through the previous understandings, then this next level of participation is available to you now. Subscribe to Quantum Labs because what comes next is specifically calibrated for souls who have already recognized their function as potent agents of planetary transformation. The cosmic timing is perfect. Your consciousness has already activated the necessary codes, and the universe is reorganizing to support those who are ready to operate as conscious co-creators of the new reality. When you subscribe after making the declaration, I am part of the collective transformation, you are not just following content. You are integrating into a network of consciousnesses that have already recognized themselves as active expressions of universal intelligence, creating a collective field that accelerates the manifestation of new reality through each individual perspective. Share this next level with anyone who has also recognized their participation in the collective transformation, who is ready to transcend the role of observer and assume their function as an active co-creator, or who feels that the time has come to operate from their true cosmic capacity. Your evolution from observer to active participant in the collective transformation is what allows these next levels of understanding to become accessible. Each soul that makes this transition strengthens the ability of the entire network to operate as a single intelligence expressing itself through infinite creative diversity. We will continue this journey in the next exploration. Until then, keep your frequency elevated, your heart open, and your nervous system calibrated for coherence. Change is not coming. It is already here. You are already living it.